tickets. Come on in. Step into the two parlors here, front or back. You get your choice. Just don't go on through to the dining room. I'll be along in a moment. Come on in. Thank you, sir. 340 tour tickets. Come on in. That's the one I wanted to see. 340 tour tickets. I just need to see the time. Come on in. 340 tour tickets. Come on in. Got your elbows in the back.
This is what I would like to see.
340 tour tickets. We'll have tour tickets available. The visitors stay at the party of this field. The tickets are free. There's motion in, so you want your record on the board.
I can't sit when you're here.
You can say you were in the vestibule, but I can't get you on the house, I regret to say.
Okay.
But step, the tickets are free, so just step on over that brick building at the far end of the field, and you'll get your tickets.
Okay, thank you.
No, sir, this is the 340. 4 o'clock, we begin at the benches at 3:55.
Styles change.
Right there to your left, sir, across the street under the shade
You
tree.
young people are not going to have anything, know anything about
Oh, pardon me, yes, come on back.
the older people.
Come on back.
But I grew up in the 1970s, right? And I remember the wallpaper in the kitchen. It was made of greens and yellows and oranges and browns, and it was so bold that it would wake you up at 5 a.m. in the morning. And
Pants of the summer.
you know, I look at the clothing that my mother dressed me in, and I said, Mom, what were you thinking? I mean, short shorts, they were real short, and then you had the knee-high socks, you know, tube socks up to here. Yes, it was hideous, you know. Some of the pictures were in black and white, and we'll just leave it at that. Thank God, you know. But shag carpeting was in, and I thought those styles were all beautiful. I really did. And 20 years later, I look back at that house and I think, oh my God, what was that? Clothes styles, house styles, they all changed. All right? So this was very popular for a time frame. Now this is Mr. Lincoln's chamber right here. Mrs. Lincoln's chamber is directly behind. There are some things in this room that do belong to Mr. Lincoln. They're all directly behind you. The wardrobe dresser in the left-hand corner is his. The chair in the center of the room actually comes from his law office, and the desk in the far right-hand corner is his. So you imagine Mr. Lincoln cramming a 6'4" frame into that little desk area, working late night hours. Ladies and gentlemen, you're standing in Mr. Lincoln's home office right now. So many of his famous speeches could have been done right there at that location. Now, the sign behind you talks about Mr. Lincoln and having many sleepless nights in this very room right here. After he's elected president, all right, this country will really start to come and unravel. 7 states are going to leave the Union before Mr. Lincoln is even sworn in as our 16th president. Why are they leaving? What's so horrible? What made them leave?
Slavery, states' rights.
States' rights, slavery, all right. Mr. Lincoln's position on it, all right. Mr. Lincoln wants to end it, abolish it, all right. But with the states leaving, changes Mr. Lincoln's opinion as to what he wants to do. So initially, he's going to make some concessions on slavery. Right? His number one goal during his presidency is to keep this country whole. So he will allow it in the South. Right? Those states that already have slavery, they have it. Continue to have it. But every state that comes into this union will be a free state. See, we have new states such as Nebraska and Kansas that were petitioned at that time frame to come into our statehood. They were to be free states. So those in the South understand that it is just a matter of time. Maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's 10 years, maybe it's 15. But eventually they're going to lose control of Congress. You lose control of Congress, you lose control of the law. There's power right there. Eventually slavery would be no more. They would lose their wealth, they would lose their prominence in society. That's why they're leaving. Any questions?
That's beautiful. It's not.
It's a period piece. See, what happened was when the Lincolns left here in 1861, we're going to Washington, D.C. This is a major change in their life, being uprooted. All right? There is no Penske, there is no U-Haul. All right? There's no way of getting the furnishings there. So what they're going to do is they're going to have a big yard sale, sell off a lot of the furnishings. What they don't sell, they're going to put into storage across the street. Right? It'll be in the neighbor's house. And they're going to rent this house out. There'll be desire was to come back here for the presidential years. That never happened because of Mr. Lincoln's death. They'll rent the house out during that time frame. But for example, Mr. Lincoln's bed will be purchased by a gentleman who worked for railroad companies in Springfield, Chicago. And his items, as well as the Lincoln items, were presumed to be burned in the Chicago fire of 1871. So the bed that Mr. Lincoln slept in this very room no longer exists. It's a period piece. It is based upon all the dimensions and information that we have.